Hey students, so today we are going to discuss the topic of rocks. Okay, what are rocks? So, rocks are solid materials made up of one or more minerals. They form the Earth's surface and come in many different types like igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic. So, basically, they are saying that the rocks are solid materials made up of one or more minerals. They form the Earth's outer layer and come in three main types. The first one is igneous, the second one is sedimentary, and the third one is metamorphic. Okay. So, in simple, rocks are the solid parts of the Earth's surface made by mixing different minerals together. Okay, so the next one is minerals. Minerals are natural substances that have a specific chemical makeup and structure. They are the building blocks of rocks. In short, minerals make up rocks, and rocks are combination of different minerals. Okay. So basically, they're saying that minerals are natural substances with a specific chemical makeup and structure, like they are the building block of rocks. And in simple summary, that the minerals are pure natural ingredients. When you mix these ingredients together, you get a rock. Okay? Okay. Here are the properties and comparison table. Okay. Minerals and rock. It is solid. Yes, minerals and rocks both are solid. It is not made up of organisms. Yes, both are yes. Okay. It is formed in nature. Yes, both are in nature. It is a pure substance. Yes, mineral is a pure substance, whereas rocks are not a pure substance. Okay. It has a fixed crystal structure. Yes, minerals have a fixed crystal structure, but rocks are not. Okay. So, rocks. This is the example of rocks, like it is a granodiorite. Okay, it's like it is an example of rock, which is granodiorite. And these are the minerals. Okay, rock cycle. Rocks on Earth is constantly changing. The rock cycle describes the processes that create, destroy, and transform Earth's rock. These processes are driven by energy flowing between different parts of Earth. So basically, what it says that Earth's rock are never permanent. They constantly change. The rock cycle is the ongoing process of creating, destroying, and transforming rocks using Earth's energy. Okay, so in simple summary, that rocks don't stay the same forever. Earth's recycling old rocks into new ones is called rock cycle. Okay, okay. So these are the steps of the rocks cycle. Okay, what it says, like this is basically a circular diagram showing the steps. Okay, so the first step is this, like magma cools into igneous rocks. Okay, this one. Weather into sediments. The next one is this, and then packs into sediment rocks. This one. Okay, and then heat or press into metamorphic rock. Okay, this one. And then melts back into magma. Okay, so basically, this is a visual map showing how a rock changes forms from liquid lava to crumbled sand, okay, to hard stone over millions of years. Okay, so the next one is how igneous rock form. Okay, when rock melts below Earth's surface, the rock becomes magma. Magma can rise to the surface through cracks in Earth's crust. Magma that reaches Earth's surface is called lava. When lava or magma cools, it solidifies by crystallizing to form igneous rock. Okay, so basically, what it says, like it says that the melted rock underground is called magma. When it leaks through cracks to the surface, it is called lava. And when this hot liquid cools down and hardens, it crystallizes into igneous rock. Okay, so igneous rocks are made when super hot melted lava cools down and freezes solid. Okay, so the next one is metamorphic rock. Okay, metamorphic rock forms through a process called metamorphism. Most rocks are made up of minerals. During metamorphism, minerals in a rock react to form new minerals. This reaction happens because of high temperature, high pressure, or both. When new minerals are formed, a new metamorphic rock is created. So what it says that the metamorphic rocks are made through metamorphism. Extreme heat and intense pressure squeezes existing rocks, causes their minerals to chemically react and change into completely new minerals. Okay, so in simple word, that the metamorphic rocks are baked and squeezed rocks. Intense heat and heavy pressure cook an old rock until it morphs into a brand new type. Okay. For example, schist is a type of metamorphic rock. Schist forms when shale, a type of sedimentary rocks, undergoes metamorphism. Okay, so schist forms when shale, a type of sedimentary rock, undergoes. Okay, basically they're saying that it shows a real example of the metamorphic rocks, like taking a soft rock like shale and squeezing it until it turns into a tough rock called schist. Okay. Okay. The next one is sedimentary rocks. Okay. Sedimentary rock forms after sediment undergoes several processes. So the first process is sedimentation. Okay. Sediment must build up in a location in a process called sedimentation. Sedimentation often happens when loose drains settle to the bottom of a lake, sea, or river. So basically, loose bits of dust, sand, or mud settle at the bottom of the river, lakes, or oceans. Okay, so this process is sedimentation. So the next one is compaction. As a sedimentation continues, new layers of sediment bury the older layers. The weight of these layers causes the loose grains of sediment to squeeze closer together. This process is called compaction. So, as more layers pile on top, the heavy weight crushes and squeezes the loose grains closely together. Okay, so this one is compaction. The next one is cementation. Eventually, the compacted sediment becomes rock through a process called cementation. During cementation, minerals form in the tiny spaces between the grains of sediment. These minerals hold the grains together to form solid sedimentary rock. So basically, cementation is a process of like minerals grow in the tiny gaps between the squeezed grains, acting like natural glue to lock them into solid rock. Okay. So in simple, that thinking of making a sedimentary rock like building a layer cake out of sand. Okay. You pile it up, press it down harder, and let natural glue sticks it all together. Okay. So first, a river transports sediment into the sea. Then, after entering the sea, sediment settles to the sea floor. Next, sediment is buried by continued sedimentation, which builds up more layers of sediment on the seafloor. After being buried, grains of sediment are squeezed together by the weight of the sediment above in a process called compaction. And finally, the compacted grains of sediment are cemented together to form sedimentary rocks. Okay, so basically, it is a step by step timeline. Like rivers carry mud, sand to the sea. The pieces settle on the seafloor and they get buried under new layers, and the weight squeezes them. They glue together into rocks. Okay, so in simple words, that this is a quick recap timeline of how loose dirt traveling down a river ends up becoming solid stone at the bottom of the ocean. Okay, so the next one is limestone. What is limestone? It is a type of sedimentary rock composed mostly of calcium carbonate, often with fossils and organic matter. Limestones often contain fossils which provide scientists with the information on ancient environments and on the evolution of life. So basically, limestone is a sedimentary rock made mostly of calcium carbonate, and it often containing ancient organic matter and fossils. Like these fossils help scientists study old environments and how life evolved. Like in simple words, that limestone is a rock made from old ocean shells and skeletons packed together because it holds onto fossils and it acts like a history book for scientists. Okay. So the next one is sandstone. Sedimentary rock consisting of sand or quartz again grains cemented together, like typically red, yellow, or brown in color. So sandstone is a sedimentary rock made of sand or quartz grain glued together. Like it is usually red, yellow, or blue or brown. Sorry. And sandstone is exactly what it sounds like millions of tiny grains of sand naturally glued together into colorful rock walls. Okay, so the next one is siltstone. It is a classic sedimentary rock that is composed mostly of silt. Like it is a form of mud rock with a low clay mineral content. And clastic is made up of fragments of pre-existing rocks. So basically, it is a fine grained rock made mostly of silt. It is a type of clastic rock, meaning it is built out of broken fragments of pre existing rocks. Okay. And siltstone is made from packed mud rather than coarse sand. Like it introduces the word clastic, which just means a rock made from the broken bits of older rocks. Okay. Okay, so this is basically a complete rock cycle diagram, a detailed web showing that any rock can turn into any other form. Okay, like igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic. Rocks can all melt into magma, whether into sediment or transform under heat and pressure. So this diagram basically proves there are no shortcuts or final stops. Okay, Earth is constantly recycling everything, melting rocks, breaking them down into sand, or baking them into new forms over and over again. Okay?